The following Let's Play has been rated for mature audiences only. Any attempts to break the game are for entertainment value only. However, if any typos happen to be found, Mwahaha! Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! When we last left off, SX accidentally killed his best friend, who happened to be the overlord of this country. I still think overlord is like an evil name, but Overlord Roris wasn't that evil, he was just drunk. But nevertheless, SS killed him, and by all accounts SS should be getting executed for such an act. But General Latios decided to say that SS needs to finish this war for him. And well, yeah, that's pretty much it. I had it's a little bit more elaborate than that, but my mind is not working right sometimes. Which is why I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently this episode. The subject has come up a few times over the course of my Let's Plays, why I read the dialogue out loud, and I am able to come up with a couple of good explanations or reasons why I read the dialogue out loud, even though I'm fairly certain that everybody who watches my Let's Plays can read the dialogue for themselves if they wanted to. Well, rather than give those explanations in this video and just continue reading on, I decided to just make an example episode to point to whenever I come back to, whenever that question comes up. I'll just say, hey, go back and watch SS World 2 episode 13, I want to say. It's probably a bad idea to do this because I've had a little bit of trouble reading dialogue with this Let's Play so far, and certain people might be getting a little annoyed by some of the things I've been doing. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I need to have an example episode, and this is going to be a good example episode because I am probably going to town, where there's going to be a whole lot of people to talk to. So yeah, no dialogue reading for this episode. Not out loud anyway. So let's see, I'm supposed to be going to some military camp, or be taken to some military camp or something, near some temple to look for Vega. Is this where I'm supposed to go? Yep, this is it. Alright. Oh, hey, we're already in the desert. What a coincidence. We're supposed to go to the desert and... No, this is not an error or anything. This is just something that can happen whenever you have a 3D game like this, where you can place objects wherever you want and whatever. I just find this interesting. You know, this would make an interesting game. Take a screen cap of this and say, hey, what is this? Why, it's a hot air balloon. Anyway. Let's look around, talk to people, find out what we're supposed to be doing, and not use that particular camera angle. There's no music. Why is there no music? Well, that's gonna be making things interesting with the dialogue not reading out loudiness. It's gonna be like Spiteful Dead all over again. Thank you. Which person did I talk to first? Was it that guy over there, or was it this guy? Oh, he just says the same thing, so I guess it was the red guy. Oh, there's a save point, and a place, and... Hold on. And this way is blocked, and once again, it's an instance where I should be just knocked back since I'm not supposed to go that way, but he didn't knock me back. Kind of slacking off there a little. Is this going to say the same thing as the other two? Nope. And what about you? Same thing as the other guy. Alright, let me save real quick. Alright, there doesn't seem to be anything else we missed, so let's head inside this little here fortress. I wonder how long this took to build. Ah, there's some music. Oh hey, it's the guy who we're going to be talking to in order to get new missions. Let's talk to him and get some more missions. As a reminder, the story that's going around for Rorus isn't that SS killed him, it's that Rorus committed suicide because of how paranoid he is. Now that reminds me, General Lavio, whatever his name is, General Lavio claimed that Rorus was really paranoid, but then when SS told him about how Vega was coming to the temple near here in order to find some artifact that can raise the dead, Lavio was being paranoid that SS was trying to double-cross him. So, I don't know what you would call that. But, yeah, irony? No, it's not irony. What is irony? Irony is such a confusing thing, because it's misused all the time. Anyway. Alright, there is a lot of ellipses in this particular conversation, so I want to bring up something else. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing the 3-second pauses whenever ellipsis pops up anymore. I thought it would be funny, and had this game not used ellipses as often as it swears, it probably would have been funny, but it happened way too frequently and people were getting annoyed. Annoyed enough that that last episode of mine even had a thumbs down on it, so yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Left in the lurch? What? Does that mean he wants to be... He doesn't want to wind up doing this all by himself or something? That's probably what's going to happen anyway. I mean, he is the hero of this game. Are you going to give us any criminals to go after? SS, you need to stop interrupting him. What's this? Nothing? Alright. What's down here then? Is this going to have a person? Oh, hey, there's the person where we were looking for. First, let's talk to these other people. Hey, wait a sec. Does that door lead anywhere? No? Because I'm thinking this goes beyond the boundary of the actual fortress upstairs. So, part of the fortress is underground, I guess. Yeah, sure, why not? Kind of a drastic switch going from some troubling music to a peaceful goodnight song. Alright, so let's see. Is this guy going to be the guy we're going to talk to for getting criminals? Yep. Wait, really? there's gotta be something going on, cause, well, we're only 60% through the game, I'd say, probably, so there's gotta be some other criminal hunting subquests that we go on to upgrade something else, probably our magic. Well, that's disappointing. Alright, so I guess that's it then? Unless something happens when I walk out here. Probably not. Nope, not even going to be any music. But I imagine, yep, that we're going to be going that way. Huh, well, exploring this little fortress. Hey, what are they doing here anyway? I mean, this is supposed to be along the way to some temple. Does it happen to be near the town that Vega has taken over, or I don't know. So yeah, it's a short example episode of why I shouldn't talk, and probably didn't get the message, get my point across very well. So, for the sake of extending this episode beyond the 11-12 minutes that it is already, not to mention having a specific reason that you can understand, there's actually two reasons why I read the dialogue out loud. First reason you might have noticed is because things get quiet while I'm reading the dialogue. I know I could try to talk about stuff while reading the dialogue, but come on, seriously? Do you know how much trouble I have talking about stuff when I'm not reading dialogue? Do you really think I'm going to be able to talk about stuff and read the dialogue and talk about something other than the dialogue at the same time I'm reading it? I can't do that. There are Let's Plays I've watched of RPGs before, where somebody's trying to talk about stuff while going through the dialogue, and I have trouble paying attention to both reading the dialogue and listening to what they're saying at the same time, so there's no way I'd be able to read the dialogue and talk about something else. It's not happening. Even worse if that Let's Player happens to be going through the dialogue too fast, which brings me to my second point. By reading the dialogue out loud, I know everybody's keeping up. Now, I'm not saying everybody is a slow reader, but somebody might be. Somebody might take it a little bit slowly, and so just in case I go through the dialogue slowly if I'm not reading it out loud. If I'm reading out loud, I know everybody's with me. If I'm not reading out loud, I might be ahead of someone, I might be behind someone, and if I comment on something in the middle of a text box, they're going to have to go looking for it. So yeah, those are pretty much the main two reasons why I read the dialogue. You know, there's a whole Let's Play that I should point out. The Spiteful Dead. I mentioned it earlier in this episode, The Spiteful Dead. It is kind of like this situation where there is a lot of silence because the music is gone, but Spiteful Dead also has incredibly lengthy cutscenes, some like almost an hour long. At least they were almost an hour long because I wasn't reading the dialogue out loud. And a bunch of black screens, and while watching that Let's Play, I got bored to death. I was waiting for me to say something, then finally I say something comment on something in the text box that's up, but then I would just sit there and wait for the people to catch back up to the text box or something. I don't know, it was just boring to watch. So that's why I read the dialogue. It keeps things interesting and it keeps things moving. And hopefully this episode you guys understand that now. And I will continue reading the dialogue from this point forth. Anyway, next time we are going to go start traveling through the desert because we're going to go right after Vega. Who's willing to bet that we're not going to get any help from these soldiers here? I'm willing to bet. How much money do I have? None. I guess you'll just have to... I don't know. There's nothing to bet, I guess.